Everyone, it's Mrs. Martinez with Martinez Art Lab. Today we're going to be working in Google Drawings, working with some of the pattern pages that I've created to teach a lot of different skills. And today's skills will be focusing on using the fill color in Google Drawings and using it to create different tints and tones. So let's get started. I've got one of our pattern pages open in Google Drawings. This happens to be the pattern 2 in our packet. And once I've got this selected, each one of these shapes is a different or going to be a different color. So the tools that I need to be aware of are the black arrow, that's our select tool. And when I click on that arrow, I can take that and click on any shape. When I click on the shape, I get my blue box around with my anchor points, these blue squares on the corners. I'm not going to move any shapes, so I want to be really careful that I don't. If I accidentally move a shape, I'm just going to go up to this undo and click undo because I want to leave everything where it is. When I use this select arrow to select different shapes, whatever those shapes may be. And here, because they're so close together, these two diamonds, I need to be really careful. But when I select each shape, what happens is I get my fill color tool that will pull open. And that's what we're going to use to create our tints and tones. So remember, a tint is when you're adding white to a color to make it lighter. And a tone is when you're adding black to a color to make it darker. So we're going to use these circles and this kind of bullseye shape to create a row of tints and a row of tones, a row of tints and a row of tones. So in my first row, I'm going to create tints. Remember, a tint, you add white. So I've clicked this first circle and I'm going to show just the normal color. So I'm going to show, let's pick towards the bottom, these are our darker colors. So I'm going to pick the darkest red I can. And then I'm going to use my select arrow to click on that second shape. And this was the color I originally picked. So if I were mixing this on a palette with paint in front of me, I would be adding white to make that a little lighter. And then I'll select my third shape and do the same thing, add white to add a little bit lighter. So I went from dark to light. And remember, if we were mixing on a paint palette, we would be doing that by adding white. So I've created tints of this color. Now, I'm going to do the same. I'll select that smallest circle and go up to my fill color. And I'm going to just keep picking the darkest color. I'm just going to kind of go in a row here to show the different tints that I can achieve in this. So I'll pick the darkest orange and then I'll go to a lighter orange to create a lighter tint and then a lighter orange still. And so now I will just keep doing the same. I'll pick the darkest color and then pick a lighter color to make a tint and then keep going and pick an even lighter color. So I'm just going to keep doing that just along the row to create different tints of these colors. And now I'm in a blue. So you can see I'm starting to go pretty fast. Again, it's because I'm used to the program. So the more experience you have in Google Drawings, the quicker you'll be able to go. So I've got a row of tints. So this is just a visual reminder. We start with the color and then achieve tints by adding white, or in our case on the digital screen, we're choosing a lighter color to create those tints. And I'll type it over here just to give you a reminder. And I'll erase that later. But just to give you a reminder as I'm typing so it's on screen and you can see that our tints are here. And I'm actually going to create another row of tints. So I will select this, and instead of choosing the darkest one here, because we know I chose dark red, lighter, and lighter, now I'm going to choose the fourth color and the fifth color and then the sixth. So it's getting even, and I need to get my counts right. So you can see we've gone from darkest all the way to lightest as we went through. And I'm going to do the same with all of those colors. So I'm going to count up and go to the fourth one, and the fifth, and then the sixth to get those lighter tints. So this will serve as a good visual as you are working with different tints, to remind you that a tint gets lighter as it goes from dark to light. So again, you're adding white to create that tint. So let's do our last tint. We go to our fourth color and our fifth color, and then lastly our sixth color. Okay, so now we've got these tints that we've created. And now I'm going to do the opposite down here. So instead of creating tints, and you do not need to type this, I'm just typing this again as a reminder for you. My last two rows are going to be tones. So I will just make that large enough for you to see. And as a reminder, over here. So now I'm going to choose the color. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to choose the lightest color and then go down to the darkest color. So I will start with this first row. I had started in this row. So I will start with the lightest and then go from light to dark. So remember, if I were using a paint palette and I were adding the colors in, and I'll just go straight to the bottom and add the fourth color. If I were using a paint palette and I were adding the colors to make them into tones, oops, remember when you make a mistake, just use that undo button. I would be adding black to the color. So I went from light to dark, okay? And then I went from dark to light for my tints. All right, let's go over here. We'll start with our lightest and go all the way down to our darkest. And also, if you accidentally change colors, oops, if you accidentally change colors, or accidentally move any shapes and didn't mean to, you can go ahead and change that by just pressing that undo button. So this is really good practice on Google Drawings to help you know how to use the fill color. It's also very good practice and a visual reminder to remind you what a tint is and what a tone is. So again, when we're working with paints and we're working on mixing our colors physically rather than on the computer, this is a great guide to have in front of you just as a reminder of what you are doing and how you are doing it. And also remember, when you are mixing your colors or changing your colors rather, when you're watching this video, I go pretty fast, fairly fast. If I'm going too fast for you or you missed a step, you can absolutely always rewind the video, pause the video, do what you need to do to catch up. So I'm actually going to go in now and have some fun with these little shapes. I'm not going to create a tint. I'm actually just going to go in and make the fill color black. And then I'm going to make this little shape white. Okay, so I will create my background black and then my shape in the middle white as just kind of a point of interest in our composition here. So when you have completed this, what I would like you to do is make sure at the top you save this, and instead of example, I want you to type in your name. So type in your full name, and that is what you will submit to earn credits. So let's finish this up. And again, remember, if you get stuck or I'm going too fast or you have questions, you can always pause this or rewind it and get to the point where you need to review. Whoops, I did my opposite there. So I go back to white and then change my background black. These diamonds, you can change any color you like. I just happen to choose this. So they don't have to be black and white. They can be any color. And the same with any of your tints and tones. I don't care how you show this, but you're going to have tints on the top, tones on the bottom, and I want you to make sure you're going from light to dark. So you don't have to use these same exact colors. If you wanted to, let me select something so I can show you. If you wanted to use purples and blues and greens, you can do that as well. So they don't have to be the same colors I chose, but you are going to show again those tints and tones. Tints when you add white, tones when you add black. So your color goes darker to add tones and goes lighter to add tints. Now I'm going to delete the text because I don't need that. That was just a reminder as we were working for you. The last step I'm going to do is I'm going to use my select tool. I'm going to click and drag and release my click to make sure that everything was selected. Right now there's a black outline on everything and I don't want that. So I'm going to go up to my border color, select that and click transparent and then click off to the side. My color theory practice is complete now. I have all of my shapes and all of my shades. I see one mistake right here. I know there's a circle there, so I'll click right there and I will go in and I will change that color. It looks like it should be this. There we go. Now it is complete. Have fun working with your different color theory for this assignment.